So, how do you usually decide when it's time to toss your shoes? For a lot of people, they wait until their shoes look absolutely gross. When they start looking like garbage, it's time to take them to the garbage. Or when they start making you feel like garbage and they hurt, whether they're brand new, in a lot of cases that's in dress shoes, where they just feel awful on the first wear. That's when a lot of folks will either toss it to the curb or toss it to donation. Or when they've gotten so old that they start making you hurt, either in your feet or making your whole body hurt. But if you're in my world, you probably know it is so important to wear good shoes that are good for your body. But good shoes don't last forever. Uh, you know, they can, in a lot of cases, look just fine, but actually be trash long before they look like trash. So, how can you tell when good shoes go bad? If you're new to my world, welcome. I'm Dr. Vicky, a gentle chiropractor for people as well as pets. I'm a mind body coach and a Reiki healer. I'm here to help you be your very best in all aspects of your life, mental, physical, and emotional, as well as in all parts of your body. And so many times I see folks come in with challenges that may not seem to have anything to do with their feet. But once we start getting their feet back to where they're supposed to be, back to their best, a whole lot of challenges start resolving. If the foundation of your house is off kilter, the pictures in the attic are probably going to be hanging a little crooked. There's probably going to be some structural challenges throughout the whole house if the foundation is off. Same thing happens in your body. We gotta have a good foundation, and that starts in our feet. Now, a lot of folks know having good shoes is so important, but good shoes don't last forever. I can't believe how many people I run into that think, well, I got some really good shoes like 5 or 10 years ago. Those should still be fine, right? No. So often I hear folks that think their shoes either look fine or think that they bought good shoes once and they should be lasting for years and years and years. But those good shoes are not doing them any good favors anymore. So, when is it time to toss the good shoes? Case in point, I got my running shoes right here. Yes, they're purple. I have a thing for purple. This surprises no one if you've been around me for a bit. These are my running shoes. We're going to take a close look at these guys because they are kind of at the point where they're pretty much tipping the scales of needing to be tossed. And these are a really good example of a shoe that does not look like trash. And they're not quite to the point of being absolute garbage for me yet, but they are getting close. It is time for me to get new good shoes for running, and I will show you why. And like I said, they look pretty good on the outside. They even look pretty clean, surprisingly, because I do go run outside in these. But I do run on concrete sidewalks and pavement, so I'm not trail running in them. But they look pretty decent. Even the laces, these are the original laces. They don't even look that broken down from when I've tied them. But there are a few things that we need to look at when we're looking at your good shoes to determine whether it's time to toss them or not. Over time, the sole that you see on the outside and the cushion that's on the inside break down. It's just like your mattress. If you sleep in one spot or in one way, over time, the cushion in the mattress does break down and needs to be replaced. It's no longer supporting your body, and you wake up feeling really sore. Same thing happens in our shoes. Over time, that cushion on the inside and the outside breaks down, and it's no longer supporting your body. And as that breaks down and that cushion compresses, maybe you'll start to be feeling some discomfort. Maybe you're not feeling discomfort, but the damage is happening because when that cushion is not there, when it's not where it was or where it was supposed to be originally, as that cushion decreases, your impact that you are absorbing from the ground is increasing. And as the impact that you are absorbing into your body increases, your risk for joint and muscle and ligament injury increases. So, whether you're feeling discomfort now or not, over time, these shoes are going to be a bigger and bigger risk of injury. And we do know that. If we can prevent injury, it is so much better than trying to treat it after it happens. So, what do I mean by over time? We're talking calendar time and we're talking road miles. And by road miles, I'm not just meaning for our runners. This applies to the non-runners too. If you like to go for walks or for hikes, you need to check this out on your walking shoes or your hiking shoes. If you work at a job where you're on your feet all the time, do this with your work shoes. There's so many apps out there and gadgets out there to track how many miles or how many steps you have taken throughout the day, even if you are kind of just standing in place at a checkout register. So we want to look at time based on mileage, and calendar time. In general, most reputable running sources I have seen recommend replacing your shoes every 300 to 500 miles. Now, my shoes are almost at 350 miles. So I'm kind of just right there. We're getting there. We're at that lower threshold. And I use an app to track my running miles. But like I said, there's a lot of tools out there that you can use to track yours. They also suggest replacing every 3 to 6 months because the chemical structures in the outer cushion and the inner cushion do break down over time, even if you're not wearing the shoes. They do go bad over time. They do start degrading over time. So whether you're using them or not, I like to go on the, like cars, so many thousand miles or months is when you need to get your oil changed, whether you've been driving it or not. Same thing with shoes, 300, 500 miles or 3 to 6 months, whichever comes first. We also want to look at the tread because just like tires, that tread wears out over time. And in shoes, as your tread starts to wear down, that's going to increase how much impact you're taking into your body, which increases your chance for risk of injury. The outside of the shoe can look beautiful and almost like new. Mine still looks really good on the outside until we start looking at the sole. Now, most of my wear pattern is in the black section, so I don't know how well my camera is going to pick this up, but I'll show you what I'm looking at. We want to check the heel. This is kind of handy having a black background. So I tend to run, which shoe is this? This is my right foot. So I tend to run with more impact on the inside of my heel, which is kind of interesting. I expected more impact on the outside of my heel. Oh, nope, my camera's flipped. Haha, just kidding. Helps to know which direction your camera is in. This is why I point to things and I don't say left to right. I run with the main point of impact on the outside of my heel, and you can see where there's not as much black of the tread there. And if I bring it in close, that does kind of work. You can see there's still some texture over here, and it's all smooth and worn down right here. There's this raised edge on the middle, but then it's smoothed down to almost nothing right there because all of that has worn down from my heel strike, from where I actually impact the ground. This is the first point of contact when I'm running, and it's really wearing down. The next section I want to look at is up in the ball of the foot. So again, we're looking at the tread. We started off kind of like this section where there's those cut in triangles. And as we get up here, this is the inside of the foot. We've got a little bit of wear there and a lot of wear on the pinky side of the foot over here. That's the ball of the foot, and that is completely smooth. There's almost no tread left there. Next thing I want to look at is where the ball of the foot actually flexes. So if you take your shoe and you bend it like you were bending your toes up, where's that flex point? That'll be a little different for everybody, but is that starting to crack? So if we're losing tread and we're starting to see those cracks, those are both good signs it's time to replace the shoes. Now, something I do want to point out is up here by my big toe, I have a rougher patch where I've taken some tread off, but it's not nice and smooth like the 300 miles of wear elsewhere that I've shown you so far. The rougher spot where I've lost some tread is actually from when I tripped on a crack in the sidewalk and bit it. I mean, like full on all the way to the ground. Completely bit it. I am graceful. That's what this is from, and you can tell the difference because this is rough. This was just one stumble where my toe caught the pavement versus wear over time where it's nice and smooth. So if you've got a rough spot where you've lost some tread, most likely if you think back that might have been from where you just took a tumble or scuffed your foot on accident, not so much from wear over time. Rougher stuff tends to be a little more one-offs. But if you're noticing smooth tread, unbalanced tread, stuff being worn down or almost completely gone, or you're noticing cracks or wrinkles in the ball of the foot, all good signs. It's time to replace your shoes. I almost sneezed. Yeah. Don't you love allergy season? Whew. Apparently, there's still some pollen on my sneakers. Okay, I think I'm past the sneezing point, but I am going to drink for a second. Water is important. Hydrate. All right. You also want to check how your shoes are performing, how you are performing when you're wearing them, when you're working in them. Again, this applies to running shoes. This applies to the shoes that you go on walks with or hiking or working at your job on your feet, whatever the shoes are that you're looking at. How is the performance? If your feet or legs or even into your back is feeling more tired and you can't trace it to a change in your routine. Because if you change your routine, yeah, you might feel a little more tired. But if your routine has stayed the same, but you're feeling more muscle fatigue or joint fatigue, it might be because you have less shock absorption than you used to. So it's time to trade them out. Lastly, are your shoes fitting differently? If things are starting to feel loose, the outer material can stretch out over time. Laces stretch out over time. If you've got good shoes, unlace the darn things after you wear them and relace them every day. I know it's annoying. I know it's so much easier to just slip them on and off. They even make stretchy shoelaces so that you don't have to untie them. But in your good shoes, you will do yourself so many more favors if you untie and retie them because those laces stretch out over time. But in general, if your shoes are feeling different on your foot, feeling like they fit differently, those materials might be stretching out and no longer fitting to your foot as well as they used to, which again, they're no longer supporting your foot like they used to. Might be time to trade them out. It's also possible that they might be fitting differently because your foot's needs have changed over time. Our feet are not the way that they are for all of eternity, through all of our adulthood. Our feet change. As we get older, our feet might get longer because our plantar fascia, our arch gets longer, or they might get smaller if you've been doing a lot of muscle training and maybe even doing some arch strengthening to help with some plantar fasciitis. I've given so many of my plantar fascia patients good exercises to help support that arch again and get their arch picked back up. Your feet might have gotten a little bit shorter. As your arch is supported, you might need less width in your shoes. As your arch falls, you might need more width in your shoes. As your weight goes up, your foot might get longer because that weight is compressing that arch and making your foot come out further. As you decrease and release weight, that arch may come back up and you may need a different size shoe. So if your shoe fits differently, not only is it time to get rid of it, it is also time to get rechecked. If your shoes are looking worn down or feeling worn down, it's time to toss them. Get rid of the garbage before they start making you feel like garbage. If it's time to sauce, how can we make your feet happy again? Most importantly, you need to get fitted for your shoes. I love going to a running shoe store. There's a few different chains out there, so see what's around you that's got good reviews where they actually look at your feet and how you stand with and without shoes. See how you move and assess from an expert's opinion of what shoe is going to fit you best and what insole is going to fit you best. Because sometimes we need to do some mixing and matching. It might be this shoe, but this insole that's going to be the best fit for you. So go to a good running store, even if you are not getting these shoes for running. If you let them know, hey, I'm going to be using these shoes for hiking, or hey, I'm going to be using these shoes when I work my 8, 9 hour, and 10-hour shifts at the grocery store, let them know what you're going to be using them for. They will be able to knowledgeably put you in a good shoe that's going to be the right fit for you at this moment. Because what you needed 5 years ago, and what you need now, and what you will need 5 years from now could all be very different shoes. So you need an expert's opinion on what is going to be the best shoe for you in this moment. And one more very important thing to keep your feet happy and healthy in your good new shoes is to get them checked, get your feet checked by a skilled chiropractor who can keep your joints and muscles and all of the structures of the foot well supported and moving at their very best, operating at their very peak, so that your feet can carry you to every part along your journey that you want to be, every aspect that you want to experience in life. You need your feet to get you there. You need your feet to support your whole body in your whole life. We've got to take good care of our feet. So make sure you're getting those checked out by someone very skilled. If all of this makes sense to you, but you're not quite sure what your next step is for you, because everybody's got something different going on. We went over some generals, but what about the specifics for you? If you're not quite sure what your next step should be, reach out to me. Let's have a no-charge success strategy session, also known as a consult, but we're going to get some actual answers for you over the phone, no charge. Let's chat. Tell me about what it is that you're experiencing. Tell me about what it is that you really want instead. And I'll give you your next step of what you need to do next. And this is not going to be a pitch-a-palooza. Goodness knows we have too many of those out there. But real tip on what you can do at home right now to start on your way to being your very best from the ground up, literally. Reach out to me. Let's see what we can do and what your next step needs to be. Give me a call or shoot me a text message on my direct line. That's 636 751 3150. Or hop on over to my website and click that button that says consult. My website is on the thing on the bottom, completewellnesscc.com. And let me know that you're looking for a consult or you're looking for a strategy session for your feet so we can get you that next step that you need. Until next time, I so look forward to seeing all your new shoes and hearing what you're moving towards, what wonderful things you're going out to go experience. Until next time, go out and be your very best. Bye now.